Hey Sibbers, thanks for joining me on the steps of the Capitol. We just walked out of a vote today. What's going to be in all the headlines is what happened on the vote on the budget, which was a very narrow one vote margin. But that process is going to take several months really before it becomes the big deal, which is the vote on the final budget. What I want to talk to you about was another bill that was voted on that I think is going to be hugely impactful and maybe won't make the headlines. It's called the SAVE Act. This is something that could deprive millions of Americans of their vote. And that's going to have huge impacts in the next election cycle and in the future. Let me explain what the SAVE Act is about. This is a Republican bill we voted on entirely on partisan lines that strips the ability of voters to be registered unless they produce a valid passport or birth certificate along with a photo ID. Now today, you can register to vote with a simple California driver's license, for example, or a driver's license, particularly with Real ID, which is upgraded. Hey, it gets you on an airplane against concerns about terrorist threats. It should be enough to be able to vote. Well, that's not the way the law is going to be fashioned if this bill becomes law. That is, this would essentially strip the half of Americans who do not have a passport today, or for example, the 70 million women who may have a different name than what's on their birth certificate, the ability to vote if they cannot get those documents in time to be able to register. We already know registration is a big challenge, and voting is a big challenge for an awful lot of folks. It becomes even a bigger deal if you have to spend hundreds of dollars on a passport in order to be able to effectuate your vote. Now, of course, the rationale from the Republicans is that somehow or another there's this widespread fraud. We have a bunch of undocumented people who are voting. Okay, so there have been study after study after study on this. Brennan Center looked at 42 jurisdictions, more than 23 million voters. You know how many voters they found who were on the register rolls who were voting, who were not authorized under law to be able to vote? 30. 30 out of 23 million. That is not even well, I think you can do the math. That is an extremely small fraction, 1%. So look, this is a solution chasing a problem, but it's a solution that benefits one particular party that wants many fewer people to actually vote. This is undermining our just core tenets, democratic republic that enables everybody to be able to vote who is lawfully able to do so. The big fight now, because we lost in the House, we know where the parties are aligned, the big fight's going to be in the Senate. We need Democratic senators to stand up and hold firm on a filibuster. And so we're going to be talking again about this. We encourage you to reach out to your Democratic senators. I think our senators in California will be fine, but it's the other folks we're concerned about to make sure they don't buckle on this. Everyone who's lawfully entitled to vote must be able to vote. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with you next week.